Hi there, Thika. So, essays from you. Great. I'm really happy to see them. Let's see what you wrote. International marketing, okay? In today's globalized world, we have seen lots of cultural exchanges happening around here, not round, around the globe, thanks to international marketing effort. There are opposing views about the effect that is brought by this method. Some feel that the marketing is invasive into a country's culture, while others feel that introducing foreign aspects into a country is beneficial as a way to widen the citizens' knowledge about the world. All right, so far so good. I like the way you rephrased and the way you approached it, so good job. Let's see about the rest of it now. To begin with, the introduction of new culture to a country that holds strong ideology is rather challenging, due to the barrier that has been formed in the people's minds. Yeah, not one mind. They don't share one. For example, the attempt by Genting Casino Group from Malaysia to promote their casinos into Indonesia's market has brought back minimum result. This is because the idea is controversial and offensive, as the majority of the population is Muslim, no S. Okay, gambling and anything that induces addiction is against a religion. Consequently, an attempt to market products that relate with no S to gambling at a national level would attract protests and be seen as an act of intrusion. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. I liked it. So you're basically saying that, yeah, it's true. Okay. On the other hand, the increase in information access has made it possible for global commercializing efforts to reach their audience across continents. For example, Korean pop culture gains its popularity through the intensive promotion of their dramas and music video clips online. Hence, they're able to penetrate the Western culture, influence its followers to learn the Korean language and follow Korean trends. This phenomenon has an apparent impact into the Western culture as it learns about Western culture, it learns about cultures other than its own. As a result, Westerners would be less discriminative towards Asians in their country, and harmony will slowly find its way. Okay, that's really very good. You could see I had little to correct in terms of vocabulary, in terms of grammar, so I liked a lot of it. What was missing for me, to be totally honest with you here, was a little bit more about culture. You'd mentioned culture, but language, and economical form. What else did it say? Ideas, language, and culture. All right, yeah, I guess you could say you did that. You covered it pretty adequately. I maybe would have wanted it more direct. Like, if this is like an 8, I would have liked it at a 10, but that's okay. In terms of directness, I mean. But that's pretty good, so that's fine. To conclude, it is undeniable that a few countries are still on the conservative side when it comes to accepting new ideas originating, ing, not ed, originating from a different country, A here. However, they are deemed to change their view, not deemed, they are destined perhaps to change their views and slowly adapt to new ideas if they are to survive in the current world. In my opinion, cross-cultural knowledge is a good way to learn what is beneficial to any country and assimilate the new culture into its own. There is always a way to pick and choose what is good and what is bad, and essentially gain only the best out of something. Okay, so it's not really 100% clear where you stand. It's kind of like you're on the fence, although I do want you to select one over the other. All right? It's generally a good idea. You kind of sounded vague here. Now, one of the things you absolutely need to do here, however, is, check this out. It says, discuss both sides and give your opinion. You didn't give your opinion here, and this is absolutely extremely important, okay? When it tells you what to do, it says discuss both sides, or it says state the problem, state the solutions. That's what you need to do, and you need to do it as early as your introduction, okay? So that for me was the biggest problem. I think you analyzed this really very well. I actually liked your arguments quite a bit. For me, your conclusion could have been a little shorter. 1, 2, 3, 4 sentences. I mean, it was lovely. It was well developed. But my point is that when you only have 40 minutes to write something like this, you don't necessarily need to write 4 sentences. 2 is enough, seriously. Okay, I would rather you develop your paragraph some more and then leave your introduction and your conclusion rather Spartan. All right? But this is really well done. So good job with this. Let's take a look at your second essay. Okay, so here we go now on to your letter. It's the English and Homestay program. Okay. Dear Mr. and Mrs. Smith, my name is Thika, a participant for the English and Homestay program initiated by my school, Nanyang University of Singapore. I've recently received the result of my placement and was informed that you will be my host for my 1 month stay in the UK. Here it's great. I like everything so far, but if you're going to do this, make sure it's written out, 1, and then put a hyphen in between the 2. A little bit of background. I am an Indonesian girl who have lived and studied in Singapore since 7 years ago. All right, let's fix this a little, shall we? It's formal, so let's kind of cut out any of this informal ellipsis and things like that. Instead, I'd like it to say, allow me to give you a little background about myself. I am an Indonesian girl who has lived and studied in Singapore for the last 7 years. Okay? Not since 7 years ago. For the last 7 years. I speak fluent English and basic French. I will be turning 24 on my first day in the UK, which will happen this coming Monday. As I am now preparing myself for the trip, I would like to ask you a few questions regarding your town, Bradford. How is the weather over there? You can't say, how is the weather like? You either say, how is the weather, or what is the weather like? Then they have the same meaning. I heard it is winter now, so I am trying to grab as much winter clothing and thick socks from here. Also, how much does an average meal cost? I am planning to exchange £2,000 for my basic expenses over there. Do you think it would be enough? Really appreciate your advice on this matter so I can plan my finances better and carry enough cash with me. Okay, so what you're basically doing here, Thika, is you're writing in a somewhat neutral style, I would say. In fact, I would actually say that you kind of flip-flop between formal and informal. Okay, so here's what I mean. Like this, I would like to ask you for questions. That's relatively formal, okay? However, all of these direct questions are informal. You've never met these people. You've never met Mr. and Mrs. Smith. So I would prefer this essay to be more formal rather than informal, which means no direct questions. Instead, you should say things like, could you let me know what the weather is there? Okay? Also, would you please tell me the price of an average meal? So you're asking for information, but it's not a direct question, and this is typically considered more formal and certainly more polite, okay? So all these times where you have question marks, try to reduce them by using this kind of indirect language. And this, really appreciate your advice. That's decidedly informal. It's, I really appreciate your advice, okay? Cash is also informal. So instead it could be, I am very thankful for your advice, or I really appreciate your advice on this matter, so that I may be able to plan my finances and have enough money with me, something like that. Okay, my flight is scheduled for next Monday, 13th of October, 2018. I will be taking, not talking, Singapore Airlines flight number this. Estimated arrival time is at this, London time. I was informed that there will be a representative from the English and Homestay program to welcome us. They will also settle our transport from London to Bradford, which may take 3 hours or so. No journey here. It's not may take 3 hours journey, it's may take 3 hours, or which is a 3-hour journey. Okay. I am extremely excited for this program. I really look forward to seeing ing. After I look forward to, it has to be an ing. Do tell me if you need anything in particular from Singapore. And, here you need an and. I will do my best to get it for you. Sincerely, Thika. All right. Nice job. Really, you've done a very good job. Your mistakes, your errors are minimal. Like I said, it's a little for me more a matter of register and being formal enough in this sort of a letter. But you've done really quite well. You've analyzed, you've extended, you've used some natural language, so it was really well done, okay? Now what you need to do, let's see, this is a single essay. Okay, so I don't know when your exam is, but I would like to see more essays from you. This way we can make sure that you are on track right up to your exam. Okay, so I hope you will decide to sign up for some more essay corrections so that we can work together and make sure you get the grade that you need and the grade you deserve. Okay, so good luck to you, and I look forward to seeing more of your essays in the future, Thika.